Hey gamers, what's up? So I'm working on a new project right now and I think you're going to think it's really cool, so I'm going to share it with you. What you see here is my basic gaming setup. That's my TV with my game consoles. The thing is, here I have 9 consoles. I do not have 9 inputs on that TV. So I figured out a way where I can hook up as many as possible without daisy chaining a bunch of stuff together, and I'm going to share it with you here. So I'm going to be using one input on the TV. You see the cable coming right down. That's it right there. For 5 of these consoles, and it's going to be the 5 around there. And that Xbox I use a component cable on anyway, so I'm not gonna use it. And I'm using 5 because I have an auto sensing AV selector here that has 5 inputs, 1 output. I picked it up for 35 bucks. I highly recommend it. You can go pick one up, and you could do this too. Here I have 5 AV cords, and on the end of each one I have a coupler. And what I'm going to basically do is run each cord so I have a quick connect in each one of these 5 cubbies. So we're going to pull out this entertainment stand. We're going to use these, and you can pick these up at the hardware store or whatever, and you run your cords in them so it looks nice and clean. You don't have a bunch of cords hanging behind your TV or your entertainment stand. And we're going to hook this up clean so it looks really good, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. So this is the back of the entertainment stand. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to run it across the back. And what I'll do is I'll measure it out real quick so it goes to the end over here, like so. And then I'm going to cut it so we don't have that excess. And that's what the main wires are going to run through. So here's what I did. I just took those tracks and I got one of the small ones and one of the big ones and just cut it to fit exactly where I needed. Then I took the small ones and I ran them up, and that's where the cords are going to come out and go into each compartment. Now I notched them so the wires could just go straight through and then come up. And then each one is going to have its own. Then what we're going to do is, for each one, we're going to take that with the couple, we're going to put it in, we're going to run the wire through and through, and it'll go around, and on the side we're going to have the AV selector. So the next thing I'm going to do is run each one of the cables. And there's the finished product. I mean, this doesn't have to be super neat or anything. The idea is to keep the cables nice and neat and keep them from getting tangled up. So the cuts aren't perfect or whatever, but it's going to really do the trick. And as you can see, I put the cover on it. I just cut each piece to match, so if I ever need to, I can take it right off. And then here's each one of the cables. I numbered them coming out so I know which one is which and which one to plug into which slot. And they're going to be basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I did this one too. You probably noticed that. That's just future proofing this whole thing. If I ever decide to put a console in that top middle, I'll have one of those already ready for it, or if I ever find a system selector down the road with more spaces and I upgrade, I'll have that ready to go. So now let's put the system selector on. And what I want to do is I want to mount it. Right here, and basically it's going to go right there. And you can do it with some double-sided tape or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue it because I don't plan on moving it for a long time, and if I do, I want to replace it anyway. So that's where that's going to go, and then all these are going to be plugged into it. There's the system selector mounted. Okay, so as an example, I went ahead and hooked up that Dreamcast and that 64 to their quick connects. And this is really cool. I have both of them hooked up, and as you can see, I've got the Dreamcast going. And when I decide, hey, I want to play It's a Mario Kart 64. All I have to do is turn that off, flip that one on, and this AV switch will automatically detect the system that most recently turned on and start displaying. It's not like the old school switches where you had to hit a button on the side. This one has the buttons and you can do it manually, but you don't need to. So I can swap between systems on the fly with 5 different consoles all hooked into one input. So this is the second part of what I'm doing with the entertainment stand. I already have the AV cords run to each one of the compartments. And now I'm going to put this, you might remember this power strip from my earlier videos. I use this in my game room. I also use it downstairs with my living room entertainment system. I'm going to connect this to the back of the entertainment system, and each of the systems is going to have its own plug going into its compartment with one of these. This is just a really good extension cord, and each one will get plugged in. There we go. Plugged in and run through the slot, so each one will have a power and an AV. So let's get that started. And there's the power source all hooked up, ready to go. I ran a nice little thing there for the cord to come out of. So now once all these systems are plugged in, they're plugged in and they're separate from the wall. I don't have to worry about like pulling the entertainment center out and having a big tangle of wires. Everything will be nice and contained. And for each of the compartments, just plug these in, and that one will go in there, and the other one will go below it, and I won't have to pull any of the cords from the consoles through the hole. Everything will be contained within each compartment. So super quick to change consoles or whatever I want to do. So that'll be the next step. And there's the finished product. So now the only thing connecting these consoles to the wall is one AV cord and one plug. And it's all safe. If you're wondering how safe this is, or if you're saying, oh, that's a fire hazard, no, it's really not. Not only do I have really good extension cords, but they're plugged into a really reliable power strip, which is plugged into, in turn, yet another really reliable power strip. And at no point will any more than one of these consoles be on. I mean, there's no reason to run multiple consoles at the same time. So it's really no more dangerous than plugging a game system in anywhere. So in case that was a concern or a thought, there it is. I even left the first plug open for the system selector. So there it is. And I have those 4 plugs open. I can use those for whatever, including these top systems if I choose to do so. So that's probably what I'll do. Plug that PS3 right in there. And then depending on what I do with the power bricks, I'll determine what I'm doing with the Wii and the 360. So let's try it out. So basically this is what each compartment looks like. Each one has a power cord and an AV switch. So all I have to do is pop my system in, plug it in, and do the AVs. And it's ready to go. And then swapping out systems will be a lot easier now. So there it is. Just turn the Saturn on. You can see it's displaying. And if I decide, oh, I don't want to play Saturn, turn the Dreamcast on. Give that auto sensor a chance to, and so on and so forth with those. Oh, I don't want to play that. I want to play 3DO. So that's pretty good stuff. Pretty pleased with everything. And there it is. 9 consoles are all hooked to this one TV. And it's the easiest way I could possibly think of doing it. No mess, no fuss, no wires everywhere, no tangles. So hopefully you guys find that handy. Maybe some of you will apply it towards your game rooms. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys. You have a great day.